For this course, we'll be using Android Studio as our primary emulator, but before we move on, I wanted to show you at least two other emulating tools that you can use to have an Android phone on your computer. One of these that is very popular with penetration testers is Emulation, and they have a desktop version of this tool as well as now some cloud versions of this tool. I have personally not used this tool, but I do know plenty of people do use this tool for their security testing, and it can help to have a variety of emulators as well without having to go through the setup of Android Studio. So you can find all the pricing information on their website. It's charged by the hour, around 50 cents per hour for the device. They also have these devices available on different types of the cloud. So you have the Alibaba Cloud, the Azure Cloud, the GCP, and AWS. So tons of different cloud providers integrate well with this tool. They also have a completely SaaS version of the Android device, so you don't need to set up anything in any of the clouds. And also they have a desktop version. So there's a few more choices there for you in terms of emulation. If it's something that you're curious about, if you're looking for any alternatives to Android Studio. Also, something else worthy of noting is with Visual Studio, there is also an emulator for Android, and this is actually used if you're ever interested in developing an Android or iOS app using a tool called Xamarin. This allows you to create an Android and iOS app using the same code from a source, right? And that tool actually comes with an Android emulator as well. So if you're interested in developing for both Android and iOS, maybe for a side project in terms of mobile apps, Xamarin might be something that you want to look into, and also this Visual Studio emulator for Android. Now keep in mind, if you're running this on a Windows device, you're going to need to have Hyper-V enabled, and in certain cases, if you're using, say, VirtualBox, for example, enabling Hyper-V can actually break some of your other virtual machines. So before you go ahead and use this Visual Studio emulator for Android, make sure that you're actually going to be capable of running Hyper-V without breaking your system. I personally had some problems with Hyper-V in the past, so I'm very familiar with what can happen. But this is another free emulator solution as well if you're looking for another alternative to Android Studio.